San Diego State football, and this is another one that I got to give them their farewell of the Mountain West preview because they will not be a part of it next year. They're headed to the Pac-12 as well. 3-9 in 2024, 2-5 in the Mountain West. Still head coach Sean Lewis. Everybody knows the name because he was the offensive coordinator back at Colorado in 23 before his stint here. Offensive coordinator brings in Matt Johnson. He was formerly just the quarterback's coach at San Diego State. He gets the call up and gets to split the play calling sheet with Lewis this year, and we'll get into why later. Defensive coordinator Rob Orich is formerly just the defensive line edge style coach for this team, promoted within as the departure of Eric Schmidt. There was a lot of excitement last year going in, especially from this show with Sean Lewis and what he did at Kent State and the offense that he showed at Colorado in his time there. But to say it was a bumpy ride is putting it very lightly. But he's doing the right things, I will say. I do think he's got this program going in a good direction as we'll go through. I think a fun note about him is the spring game is not big in the G5, but for their spring game at San Diego State, they go to local high schools, like multiple, and do open practices. I think it's a great way to create relationships, and it's kind of why he was successful at Kent State. You got to do these little different things to your local kids to keep them around at your G5 programs, and you'll find success. So I do think he's on the right track here at San Diego State. But last year, from what we saw at Lewis at Colorado, we really expected, a high-flying offense, a team that could put up points, and San Diego State's a historic G5 program of being pretty damn good at football. This offense was not very good last year, man. The offense averaged just 19 points per game, put them 119th in the nation. They were terrible on third down, just converting 35%, terrible in the red zone, just under 80%. And that all leads to Matt Johnson getting a piece of the play calling sheet this year. So he brings in a guy that coaching the quarterback has a couple now looks at the play calling sheet. We'll see if that can be the difference maker. The quarterback battle is here. A couple of transfers brought in. Jaden Denagel from Michigan, 4-star guy, a lot of talent, high ceiling, was really taken back by him not getting an opportunity, especially last year for Michigan, but played in J.J. McCarthy's shadow the year before, and the year before that he redshirted at Michigan. So this is just his second stop. Burt Emanuel Jr. is the other transfer. He's from Central Michigan, so a couple of Michigan guys. This is definitely the definition of a dual threat guy, if not a run-first guy. I mean, he can run the football. Could be a multiple look early in the season or maybe even throughout the season with where they're at as a program with Emanuel's running ability. He does offer a lot there. I think he had 18 scores on the ground last year. The offensive line looks pretty good. They returned a couple of quality pieces and added some nice pieces as well from the portal. Callan Ellis from Syracuse and then Cam May from Howard. Big dudes. You got to replace them because if you want to get them things going, especially with a running quarterback that you're bringing in, you got to have a good offensive line. The backs and receivers. It should be a split running back room with a nice piece of addition from Coastal Carolina and Christian Washington. He had a little bit of limited experience last year, but still a quality back nonetheless. And on the outside, they returned Jordan Napier, who was in the slot for them. And they add my one ad I want to go through. They added multiple UCLA transfer, but the one I want to highlight is Jacob Bostic from Texas A&M. I think he's going to take a really highlighted role in this offense last year because they need to get the ball downfield. Like Napier was a good receiver for them last year, but I think he only totaled 450 yards. They just couldn't get anything going on the offensive side of the ball. So any returner, I think they just need to get going a little bit, get the ball downfield, do what you kind of did at Colorado, Sean Lewis, and you should see more success. Maybe the second look on the play calling sheet will help. On the defensive side of the ball, this unit had a rocky road as well last year, but they do return 10 out of 11 starters. We could go through the list of starters, but it would take the rest of the show. You return 10 out of 11 starters. We just talked about the culture that you can establish by doing that at a G5 school. You really think that this unit, no matter what, is going to take a step forward. You promote within. That kind of keeps those guys around. That helps tremendously. One guy you got to highlight, one of the best defensive linemen in college football, and Trey White, posted 12.5 sacks. This guy, you got to know him because he's going to be a Sunday guy, and he's going to be by far the biggest piece of this defense and leader on this team. And if he can get it going, maybe the defense can get it going a little bit, and all of a sudden San Jose State is way more notable than a lot of people think. You return 10 out of 11, like I said, and a lot of this unit can leap forward, and San Diego State fans are kind of convinced that they can. I think Lewis and company can get back to a bowl game. I really do. I know their win total's not high. I think it stands at 4.5, like JP said, which we'll get into later. But the schedule, I kind of like it. You go on the road at Wazoo week 2, but then you go on the road week 4 at NIU. That's a winnable MAC game. You do get Boise and San Jose State at home. I think they can get to 6-win, boys. Am I far off? What are your thoughts, Jake?
It's kind of interesting because they kind of pointed the fingers at the defense last year for their problems, but the
offense was bad.
Their offense was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I like Sean Lewis, and what he did at Kent State was damn near impossible. But like, how many times are we going to keep giving him the benefit of the doubt? Because kind of like Colorado State, this is a team and fan base that's like, they're not going to tolerate anything less than 6 wins as a Pac-12 team now. So something's got to work. I don't know. And if it doesn't, I don't know if it'll work out for Sean Lewis. Maybe this is just kind of one of those weird things that just never was put together.
JP, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this one, if you're going to be an offensive guru, it's got to pop. You're in the right market for it. It's the right kind of place for it. I mean, this is the opposite of what Fresno State's doing. They're going from slug it out, play in the trenches, to spread it out and be a little more athletic. Just hasn't popped yet. And I'm curious on how much tougher it's going to get in the next couple of years.